Hello, my name is Sally and I am one of the makeup artists working with Look Fabulous Forever, which is hair care, skincare and makeup specifically designed for older faces. Today I want to show you a Christmas party look. It is the festive season again, and I want to show you a full makeover today using some of my favourite Look Fabulous Forever products, just to get you into the mood for your own Christmas parties and to inspire you with a few tips, hints and ideas. What have I done? One thing that is important, if you're going to a special occasion, a party, a wedding, something where you really want your makeup to look good, I would seriously recommend prepping your skin the night before. So what I did last night is after I'd taken my makeup off, I used some gentle face exfoliator, this one, just to get rid of all the dead skin cells, which do build up on older skin because our skin takes a bit longer to actually renew itself. So you get quite a bit of dead skin build-up. I then put on, just for about 15 minutes, the hydrating clay mask, which is lovely. And I rinsed those off and used some lovely hydration hold serum. And I used my lovely Deeply Dreamy night cream and a little bit of eye cream, my lovely Night Revive eye cream, so that the day of the party my skin is going to be really, really fresh, smooth, hydrated and no residue of little dry patches, which can happen particularly when you've got your central heating on. When it's colder outside, the skin needs a little bit of TLC to make it look really good with makeup. So that's what I did last night. This morning, so far, what I have done is I've cleansed my face and I have used my daily SPF 50+ serum, as I do all year round, summer and winter, because I find when I wear that, my makeup actually goes on better, as well as being protected from UVA and UVB. And I used my lovely Smooth the Day face cream, just a little bit of that. And I have let that also be important, not to go straight from skincare into makeup. Just let those skincare products sink into your skin. So I am ready to get ready for the party. So the first product that I'm going to use is Smooth Like Silk Face Prime. So this is one of my favorite all-time hero products. And it means that even if I am doing a makeup several hours before I'm going out, my foundation will last. So I'm going to put a couple of pumps onto my hand and I'm going to smooth this all over my face. And this does two things. It just fills in any open pores and any fine lines, of which I have a lot of lifeline. I call them lifelines, but it just helps to create a base so that when I put my foundation on, it's going on to a really smooth base. And that means that my foundation will go on and stay on, won't go patchy. I absolutely love this product. And it's a bit of a game changer for older skin. I just put that on with my fingers, clean, oil-free fingers. So I am going to use a mix of Continuous Cover Foundation in shade 2 with just a little bit of Light Look Beauty Balm in shade 0.5. I personally like the dewiness of the Light Look Beauty Balm with the good coverage of the Continuous Cover. So I'm going to put them on my hand. That's the foundation and a little bit of Light Look Beauty Balm. So I sort of make my own little personalised, tailored foundation, and that's the joy of these products. They all work synergistically together, so you can do that. I'm taking a little tiny bit of my face prime now onto that too. So I've got all three products, and now I'm going to use my foundation brush number 10. This is a really nice brush and it gives you a properly airbrushed effect, this one. So I'm going to mix them together on my hand and apply. I tend to start in the middle where I need the most coverage and then work my way outwards. And this brush, although soft, it's quite dense, so it allows you to really buff the product and work the product into your skin. So it goes in, it means your foundation doesn't look mask-like. I hate that look when you look like you're wearing foundation. The Continuous Cover Foundation is really lovely and hydrating. It's got vitamin E and coconut oil in it, so it works well on older skin but gives good coverage. Make sure, particularly if you're going to a party and you're going to wear your hair up, that you take your foundation to your ears and just to your jawline. If you've got the right colour, you shouldn't need to go down your neck. So once I've buffed it in with my foundation brush, I still like to just use the warmth of my hands just to pat in, just make sure everything is really well blended. What I like to do now is just to give a little bit of extra help to the areas that need it. So my dark circles. I've had some late nights recently, as you can see, and I've got a few little sunspots that I always like to conceal. So I'm now going to use our beautiful creamy cover to cover concealer in shade 02. I'm going to take our concealer brush, which is our brush number 4. Love this brush. It's quite a stiff brush, but it allows you just to stipple on in areas where you need it, the concealer. You can use fingers, but I always think you get a slightly more professional effect if you use brushes. So I'm going to take some of my concealer and I like to put it in the inner corners of my eyes, which go very bluey when I get tired. So a little bit there, and then take my ring finger and just tap that, just to get rid of, just to sort of melt it in. I'm going to put it, not loads of concealer, but just enough to cover this little bit here, this area here of darkness. As you get older, you get lots of little fine lines around here, so you don't want to put loads of concealer in that area because it will just sit in fine lines. So just sparing. If you find your concealer really does crease, just when you've finished your makeup, a tiny drop of organic jojoba oil, really just into that area, will just sort of melt the concealer and stops it from creasing. So that's a good tip. So a little tiny bit on the areas that I mentioned before, my sunspot areas. You'll get to know your own little areas where you just want that little bit of extra help. You might have broken capillaries around the nose area, which is, again, is very common. So just a little bit of concealer there will just, and then just tap it in. The warmth of your finger will melt it into the foundation. Now, I want to set my base now, and we have a beautiful product, which is our translucent finishing powder, this one. So there's only one colour to choose from. It's clear, translucent. It looks white, but it just doesn't show. It's really finely milled, so it doesn't sit in the fine lines that I have all over my face. So I'm going to use my big powder brush, number 1, just to dust over. I'm going to put a bit on my neck as well. And now what I'm going to do is to just use a smaller brush. This is our eyeshadow blender brush, number 7. I'm going to take a little bit of the powder and just tap it in to under the eye, which has the effect of slightly brightening that area and setting it as well, setting the concealer. And you can do the same if you've put it on any particular areas. You can just put a little bit of extra on, or you can use a cotton wool ball. What I'm going to do now is I am going to use 2 more primers. Really, really important for a special occasion, for a Christmas party, to make sure that your makeup doesn't get creasy and lasts under maybe the hot lights. If you're eating a lot, drinking, dancing, whatever, you want your makeup just to work and not to be worried about it slipping, sliding, moving, migrating. So to that end, I am going to use Smooth Out Eye Prime on my eyes and Never Feather Lip Prime on my lips. So let's put some eye primer on. This is a very clever product. You don't need very much, and it's important that your eyelids are dry and oil-free when you put it on. So I'm going to take no more than that, tiny amount. That will be probably enough for both eyes. I'm going to use my concealer brush. You can apply it with your fingers, but I quite like to put it on with a brush. So I'm just putting the eye primer all over my eyelid. So you can see it's got a slightly sort of creamy colour. And what it does is it will disguise and cover up any fine veins that you have on your lids. It will stop your eyeshadow from creasing. So I'm going to bring it to where I'm putting my eyeshadow. So just up here as well. So it's on the lid and just above the socket line really. You can, if you find your eyeliner moves a little bit, you can put a tiny bit underneath as well. And I really notice if I forget to put my eye primer on and I look at my eyes, I get a little bit more creasing of eyeshadow. It definitely makes a difference on my eyes when I don't use it. So it's just something I use every day. Right, Never Feather Lip Prime. I'm doing that now just because I remember when I'm doing my eyes, do my lips, and then it has time to dry before I actually get to the lipstick stage. Because if I don't do it now, and I just do it before I'm going to put my lipstick on, I have to sort of wait for it to dry. So this product comes in a little wand, it's clear. It's called a lip primer, but don't think you've got to put it all over your lips. It's much more of a barrier to stop your lipstick from migrating into those little fine lines that most of us get. Literally the outer edge of your lips. So now I'm just going to blend it in. So it's not on the actual lip, but it's creating that barrier so that the lipstick won't move. So I am going to use a mixture of our creamy eyeshadow sticks and our no shimmer eye shades for my party look. For daytime, I very often just wear matte no shimmer eye shades, but because I'm going to be wearing a colour underneath my cape, I'll show you, I'll reveal it later, that is sort of warmer in colour. I tend to wear, I'm warmer rather than cooler. So I want to go and sort of match and tone with what I'm wearing. I am going to start by using our lovely, lovely creamy eyeshadow stick in Copper, this one. This is so easy to use as well. If you're frightened of eyeshadows and are not sure where to start, you can't really go wrong with these. So, but it's important if you're going to wear these, I think, to wear the smooth out, and then because they are a creamy product, so it will just stop them sort of moving around. So I'm going to put this all over my eyelid. So you can see it is a really lovely copper colour. There we go. And what I'm going to do now is to take my eyeshadow brush number 7 and just very gently blend it in. But you can see it's got that little bit of shimmer, but without looking too shimmery, because I think sometimes on an older eye, you don't want to go iridescent creamy, because iridescent shimmery, because we've got fine lines and too much shimmer can just emphasize those. So I'm going to now put on some dark taupe. So let's start with this one. This is our beautiful no shimmer shade in dark taupe. And I'm going to take a slightly smaller brush now, brush number 9, another eyeshadow brush, but you can see it's got a smaller brush head and it's a little bit firmer than the number 7. So I'm going to put that just above my socket line and coming down. If you struggle doing this, you can always hold a cotton pad up, or you can use a tissue as well, just to sort of give yourself a little bit of a template. But you want to look at yourself with your eye slightly open when you do this, but not this or this. Keep your eye relaxed and open and think, I want to just see that colour just above the socket line. Particularly if you've got hooded eyes, you're creating a bit of a false hooded area a bit higher, because as you get hooded, everything starts to drop down. So looking with my eye open, and I'm just sort of following the crease, but a little bit higher. I've got my little pinky finger here just to steady myself. That's the way of doing it. If you've got lots of little lines like I have, you can just sort of press rather than sweeping as well. And it will look very weird at this point, but if you don't place it in the correct way, when you blend it, it will be wrong. So it looks very strange. And this is when a lot of ladies, when they're putting a darker colour on, panic and think, I can't possibly go out looking like this. Well, you won't be, because you'll have blended it and you'll have put in eyeliner and mascara and blusher and brows and everything else, so don't panic. What I'm going to do now is to go back with my blender brush. This is really important. The darker the colour, the more you need to blend. This is my blender brush number 7 again, and rather than blending in to out, I quite like to blend out to in, but quite firmly. You can do a slightly swirly blend, then you're not going to drag the makeup down your face, which will droop everything. So blend, blend, blend. Okay, I'm actually going to use another creamy eyeshadow stick now. I love this one. This is creamy eyeshadow stick in champagne. Maybe I'll get some champagne tonight at my party as well. So just take it up. You can see it's a lovely creamy colour. And I'm just going to put a little bit of this just to brighten again on the inner corner of my eye. So if you are cooler in colouring, you can do exactly what I have done, but rather than using the copper, you can use smoke all over the eye, and then you can either use pewter grey or charcoal, no shimmer shades, where I have used the dark taupe. And then instead of champagne, you could use pearl. So just another option if you are cooler tone, but it'll have the same effect, but for a cooler look. Now I'm going to put some eyeliner on now. I'm going to use our beautiful soft eyeliner in dark brown, just to give my eyes some definition, because my lashes have completely disappeared. So I feel like I want to give myself a little bit of definition, and this product is just so easy to use again. I like to start on the outer corner, and I've got my eye closed. You can do it with your eye open, just sort of squint. If you struggle to close your eyes, pinch it closed at your nose. Nearer the middle, so it disappears. So it's slightly wider at the outside, which will just give my eyes the illusion of A, lift, and B, more almondy. You can bring it all the way across if you want to. For evening, I think that's quite nice. Already got a little bit of definition there, even without mascara. So now I'm going to put a little bit underneath. You don't have to if you don't want to wear eyeliner underneath, or if you want to wear a lighter colour underneath, maybe use something like warm taupe. I am going to go reasonably strong today, just because I'm going to the party and I want to, but you don't need to. What I'm going to do now is go over. Now I'm going to use chocolate, which is another one of my favourite warm tones. This is, although this is actually quite nice even if you're cooler, because it's got sort of some plummy tones to it. It's a brown, but it's got a bit of purple in it. I love it. And I'm going to use my wedge brush number 8, which again is one of my favourite brushes. So I'm just taking some of the chocolate onto my wedge brush, and then I'm going to take off the excess on the side of my hand so that it's only on the very edge of it. And then I'm going to press this into my lashes. So this will set my eyeliner. Really important, because I've put it onto a more of a slippery base. I've put it onto the creamy eyeshadow. And if I don't set it, it might slide around a little bit, and I don't want that to happen at my party. So I'm setting it with powder. I'm going to go underneath, but I'm not going to use the chocolate underneath. I am going to go over the line underneath with my dark taupe again, just so it's not quite as dark. It's still going to be setting it and softening it. So I'm going right to the base of the lashes and making it slightly wider on the outer edge. Another top tip is to use something that I've discovered recently, and it really has been a game changer for me, is to use a tiny bit of translucent powder. And what I've got is a separate number 8 brush, which I keep just for doing this. So it doesn't have any colour on it, so it's completely clean. I take a little bit of powder and just put it under the eyeliner. Because I've used the chocolate, I want to give myself that little bit of extra oomph just on the outer corner. So I'm going to go back in with this brush, which is my brush number 9, a little bit of the chocolate, and just, because I'm creating smoky brown, nice warm smoky brown, because I've got the copper base. So I'm putting just a little bit just in this little corner here. And I need to blend that because it's a dark colour. So I'm going in again with my blender brush. Now I need to do some brows and some mascara. So I'm going to curl my lashes. Really nice to do for a party. I have hardly got any lashes, but I'm going to try. They seem to have disappeared. I'm just sort of blinking down and squeezing. Now I'm going to use my Lithe Lash Mascara in black waterproof, just because I might get hot at my party. I don't want my eye mascara to run. I love the waterproof one, but you can get the black in non-waterproof as well. So I'm just starting in the middle and wiggling it through so that I really try and get quite a lot of product in the base of my lashes. This mascara is lovely on older eyes because it hasn't got filaments and little blobs and spiky bits in it. So your lashes are still your lashes, they're just darker, but they're still quite pliable, which is, I think, really, really important. Don't forget to change your mascara at least every 4 months. It's one of those products that people sometimes keep too long and it just dries out and can get contaminated. So it's one of the products that you do need to keep quite fresh. Take your time when you're putting mascara on, because if you do it in a rush, you're going to sneeze and you're going to blob. So if you've got eyeliner on, you might not want to put mascara on your bottom lashes, or you can put just a tiny amount on. We're getting there. My brows. So what I'm going to do now is to put a little bit of bring back brow. And I'm going to, first of all, this is our brush number 6, just to groom on my brows. I'm lucky, I've still got brows, but I've got a few little gaps and they're not quite as long as they used to be. So I'm going to use Bring Back Brow Shape in Blonde, this one. Give it a little shake, got a little ball bearing in it. So this is a waterproof eyebrow paint, which is truly inspired. It's got a little brush and you can literally fill in any little gaps that you've got. And even if you've not got any brows at all, we've got videos on ladies that have no brow hair at all. You can create individual hairs with this product. So it's very, very clever, very, very easy to use once you've got the hang of it. It's amazing how changing your brows can make such a difference to your eyes. The secret then is just to go back with the spoolie brush and just to soften the product. The next product that I'm going to do, it's really nice for parties, to enhance my brows and to enhance my face under the lights, is Instant Bright Highlight. So this is highlighter for more mature skin. So it's a little clicky pen. You just click the end, only comes in one colour, and you can use it where you want to bring things forward and highlight. Light colours bring forward, dark colours push back. So I like to put a little bit under the highest part of my brow, and I'm going to take my concealer brush number 4 and just very gently blend that in, as you can see. So when I turn, it's just that little bit of dewiness. I'm going to put a little bit on my cheekbones as well, so that again, when I turn my face and turn my head at my Christmas party, this area will look dewy rather than scarily shiny and iridescent, which a lot of highlighters these days are lovely on younger skins. And it's a big market, highlighters, but I think when you've got quite a few crow's feet like I've got, if you put something very shiny there, it's just going to exacerbate. I quite like to put a little stripe down my nose as well. There we go, getting down my nose. And you can also fill in any little frown lines. I've got a lot of frown lines. And it will just, because it's light, it will bring them forward, so it therefore softens them. Little top tip for party makeup is to put a tiny bit on your Cupid's bow. Has the effect again of bringing forward that. Now I am just going to I'm getting hot under my black gown, I'm going to put a tiny bit more powder on, and I'm going to put a little bit of shape to my face now. So I'm going to use my lovely bronzer, which looks scarily orange. It doesn't come out this colour. So I'm going to use it as a contour. So a little bit just in my temples and up here. And in a sort of 3 shape. So I am going to go for our beautiful Real Radiance blush in Desert Rose. I personally either use Desert Rose or Peach Cream. Sometimes I mix the two together. Desert Rose is a nice colour. Warmth of your finger. I'm just bringing it upwards in a sort of teardrop shape to create a little bit of colour to my face. I still like to blend it the old-fashioned way with my blusher brush number 2. And I like to hold the brush at the bristles so that I'm in control of it and sort of do it in a swirly upward motion. Just looks a little bit more healthy. Now I definitely need some lips, and I'm going to outline my lips with our lovely defining lip liner in Strawberry, which is lovely for warmer tones. Again, like the eyeliners, super soft, so really, really good on more sensitive, older, thinner skin. Our lips get thinner as well as our eyelids, so. So I like to outline first and then roughly fill in, like you are colouring in, basically. The other thing I did last night, which I forgot to tell you, I basically, when I was doing all my exfoliating, I made sure I used a little bit of exfoliant on my lips, and I then took some of our lovely moisturising lip balm, this one, put that all over my lips and took a baby's toothbrush. I've got a little bamboo baby's toothbrush, which I then massaged into my lips just to get rid of any little dead skin cells that build up on lips, particularly in the winter. And I then rinsed that off, put more of that lip balm on overnight. And I'm going to use a lovely warm, rich colour called Amber in our lustrous lipstick shade. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use a lip pencil number 5, just to get a really professional look. If you find you get lipstick on your teeth, again, something you can do when you've done that is to put your clean little finger in, and what would go on your teeth will come off on your finger so that you know that's not going to happen. What I like to do now, because it's party time, I'm going to put a little bit of gorgeous gloss lip shine in clear. And because I don't want to contaminate it, I'm going to take it out, put it on my hand, and then use my lip brush, rather than putting the wand back in, because it will change colour then. I don't want that. I want to keep it clear. I tend to put it more in the middle just to create that bit of, again, it's like the sheen here, really nice for party. At this stage, what I will do is just go back with my powder, just last dust so that everything will stay fresh. And I also just double check under the eye that there's been no migration, there's no little blobs of mascara anywhere. Maybe use a tiny bit of concealer if you need to. So there we have the finished look. I've got my lovely gold, hopefully my gold blouse on. I put my hair up and my earrings on, and I am now ready for that festive Christmas party. Hopefully I can have a little glass of champagne as well, maybe, and a dance. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope it's got you a little bit into the festive spirit. My top tip for doing your party makeup is to give yourself time, permission, prep your skin maybe the night before if you can. Go a little bit stronger, play, but blend so that everything works well and tones well with your colouring and your outfit, and enjoy the application of makeup. If you've got any questions or any comments, any favourite things that you like to do while you're getting ready for the Christmas party, like me listening to my music, we would absolutely love to hear from you in the comments section below. And thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all enjoy any Christmas events that you are going to. Thank you so much. Bye bye.